Encouraged to leave. I'm just looking around because I'm seeing all my friends. You know, the thing we discovered, I'm sorry, for those of you who don't know me, I see their new parents, so I should introduce myself. My name is Russel Steinberg. I'm the conductor of the Los Angeles Youth Orchestra. I'm also a composer. I write music, that's my central thing. I also play piano, classical guitar, and very poor violin and viola. And it allows me to be very humble about it, but also it allows me to understand all of the issues that many of the musicians go through. We just came, most of the new people won't know this, and a lot of the current students work with this, but we took over half the orchestra on a remarkable tour of Vienna and Prague this summer. And I'm just looking around at all the, I do have a slideshow that's going, I brought the wrong adapter. So Michael is transferring it to his computer where he has the correct adapter. And so you will be able to see slides from the trip. But what I learned, I mean, the tour was amazing in that we played to full houses in some of the nicest concert halls in Europe. And people were very excited about the music we played. The orchestra got to play a program up to 7 times, which we've never done before. So the level, the technical level we achieved was the highest we've ever been able to do. And that was, we also collaborated with people and other musicians in Vienna. All of this was incredible, plus I dragged them around to all the things I wanted to see. So instead of doing, you know, like tours of chocolate factories and places where the Sound of Music was filmed, instead we went to a very remote apartment where Beethoven lived and contemplated suicide. We got to see all kinds of interesting places. We saw Haydn's house, where we actually got to see his mortgage deed on his home, which was kind of amazing to see the signature. And as I noted in my blog, Haydn needed a co-signer. He didn't have enough financial power to do that, just like I did when I first got my thing. So it was really funny and fun to see that. But the reason I wanted to mention all this, the thing I think we learned most about the trip, and you guys can tell me if this is true, we've discovered we like each other so much. I mean, because we work so hard in these rehearsals. I mean, I do work you to death. I give you like a 20 to 30 minute break, but otherwise you're just working at the music. So finally you had an opportunity to get to know each other. And I think what you discovered was that you're all so weird in the right way. And that weirdness, I think I've selected for the orchestra. And I know that all the new students, you're equally weird in the right way. And what I mean by weird is that you're all much more intellectually curious than most people your age. And you're more disciplined, because to play a classical instrument like this, especially in our day of technology, we just go boom, 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 Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever, Instagram, all these things, where you just think in small bites. For an instrument, you have to think very long. And so what you're training here is you're training your mind to think in much, much longer ideas, things that go very, very deep. So when you talk to each other, it shouldn't have surprised me that when we got to know each other, we found we had a lot in common, more than with other people. So when I saw the friendships developing in this tour, I realized that I want to bring this energy into the entire orchestra now. Whether you're on the tour or not, we are all part of a very special club. And so I'm hoping, I started it off this summer. I threw a party at my house, and it was a lot of fun for the people who could come. We played Haydn quartets, and we just ate a lot of food, and I cleaned up a lot of food, I remember that. But I'm hoping other parents here will open their homes. You know, it doesn't have to be a party with the whole orchestra. It can be with a sectional, just a section, or just a few people. I'd like to have more opportunities where we get together and just have some fun, or maybe read some chamber music, or maybe just, you know, go to a film, whatever. Because you really owe it to yourselves to get to know each other more than we have. And I realized after the tour how powerful that was. I think most people on the tour, would you agree that you came away with a feeling like you made these wonderful new friends, and you'd like to continue it? so that was, I guess what I was saying, the thing I learned about the tour was that we were one of the most interesting things about the tour. Okay, we're going to make this quick because I want to introduce just the key players that you need to know. But I want to just briefly say how excited, I think this is going to be, without exaggeration, the best year Los Angeles Youth Orchestra has ever had. And in summary, the reason is, you are all going to be part of something really amazing with a huge jump. First of all, the tour, the level we got to is pushing us up to a new level musically. We're going to do the most ambitious piece I've ever programmed for the orchestra. Even though the Tchaikovsky 4 was technically very difficult, this year the Advanced Orchestra, Symphony Orchestra, is going to do the Brahms Second Symphony. And this piece is, it's not on the surface as difficult as the Tchaikovsky 4, but it's much more difficult musically. It's one of the greatest masterpieces ever penned, and I'm going to be revealing to the students why that is. It's a piece it's immortal. It's a piece you will have the rest of your life, and it's a piece, as you play it more, it will mean more and more to you. As you grow older, it will mean more and more to you. It is just a supreme masterpiece. I'm so excited we're working on that. We're also, if we can get, depending on our time, we're also going to be doing the Sibelius Finlandia Overture, a wonderful, wonderful orchestral jam. And then I'm just as excited for the music in the concert orchestra. I put just as much thought into that. We're doing a wonderful arrangement of one of Johann Strauss's greatest works, Die Fledermaus, the overture. In fact, one of the students and parents invited me over to their house this this last spring to watch Die Fledermaus over dinner, and so it was just so much fun, and the music is so much fun. The tunes are so great. Concert orchestra is also going to do a whole bunch of selections from the Nutcracker Suite by Tchaikovsky, which we've never done before, and so that will be perfect for the holidays. But also, it's just great music. And when Tchaikovsky was first writing this music, he didn't think much of it. He had no idea it was going to end up becoming the most famous piece of music he'd written. And not a year goes by that you don't hear that piece. We're also going to be doing a really fun overture, The Barber of Seville, which, if anyone's seen a Warner Brothers cartoon, you know the Barber of Seville overture. And if we may have time, either this semester or next semester, concert orchestra, I found we had a wonderful donation of music from Joyce Osborne, and one of the pieces I thought would be fun for us to do is a Beach Boys medley. So that's for the parents. It's great music, and it's great music, and I think so the music is great. But the other thing that's so wonderful is our staff. You're gonna learn right now that we've hired a new executive director, and we have some other new staff that I think is just going to bring this organization really to where it's been trying to get to for a long time. So to introduce our new executive director and talk a little bit about the orchestra, I want to introduce my comrade in arms, the great musician and violinist from LA, Phil, and our board president, Mitchell Newman.
This is really weird for me to be up here on this little thing. I hate it. I'm not one of these guys. I live down here. So they don't pay me enough to stand up there. Okay. So as you've heard, one of my roles in life is being a violinist in the Philharmonic, which is great. But life comes, full circle, and I started my career in a youth orchestra just like this, and it was really important to me. I made a lot of friends. It was where I learned that I wanted to be a musician, and I grew my love of music, and my love of the camaraderie grew, and that's what part of what our board is trying to build here: a love of music and love of each other, and the camaraderie that goes along with that, which is why the tour was so important, and why, as Russell mentioned, why we also want to have at least one salon or event for the kids to get to know each other better, just to socialize. But first I want to start out by saying thank you to everybody for being here, and for the parents for entrusting us with your kids. We take their education and their lives and what music means all very, very seriously and in a fun way too. So, but we really appreciate your support. And of course, without your kids, there wouldn't be an orchestra. And we know that. And it's very encouraging to see so many people here. I do know for a fact that, you know, not everybody is going to be a professional musician, and that's the way it was in my orchestra. I know this for a couple of reasons. First of all, there's still food back there. If you were pros, there'd be no more food. I can assure you. The brass players, you still work. See, the pros are back there trying to. In your sectionals, you'll learn how to eat fast. Very important. So let's see what else that I want to say before I get off on this tangent. And we know that you know, coming out here on Sundays is a, you know, it's a family day and it's a big commitment. And we want to make this place as enjoyable and fun and deep and meaningful as we can. So we were thrilled, you know, with this tour. That was a big, big undertaking for us. And we'll hear a little bit more about that later. But that brought the orchestra, as it does even in the Philharmonic, it makes us a better team. And so we're very proud of that. Oh yes, so Russell always wants me to tell this story because as a violinist, and I know people get, well, I don't know, maybe upset's too big a word, but a little frustrated with sometimes where they're sitting in the orchestra. And I had a really interesting conversation with the former concertmaster of the Philharmonic, Sid Weiss. And we were talking about this and that, and where people are sitting, and actually our section, we call it a rotating section because we always move around. We don't have fixed seating. And he said, you know, to me, it really doesn't matter where anybody sits because there are only two seats in the orchestra, mine and everyone else's. So, yeah, so really, it doesn't matter where you sit. You need strong players from this seat all the way back. And to be honest with you, sometimes it's harder to play from the back than it is from the front. So, you are important, no matter where you are here. And I just want to emphasize that. It's everybody has a role to play, and whatever sound you make is enhancing the orchestra from wherever you're sitting, especially with the repertoire you're doing this year. Brahms, you know, you think Brahms is a big orchestra, but it's actually in many ways a very delicate piece, and especially the beginning. And so, you know, everybody's got to be responsible. And the Fledermaus Overture is such a great piece, but wow, you've got to know your stuff from front to back. I mean, everybody makes a great contribution to this. Okay. So, and then finally, I don't want to take too much time here, but it's such a great pleasure to introduce our new executive director. Her name is Laura K. Swanson. About 6 months ago, we started a search. And Laura, I can't imagine a better partner in this adventure. Laura comes to us, I'm not going to memorize this, but Laura comes to us from the Philharmonic, where I barely knew her. She came on board as from the Philharmonic, where last 3 years she was artistic planning coordinator, which means she handled all the nitty-gritty details between the artists and managers, coordinating financial, legal, contractual activities. And basically, what she doesn't say is that it was her job to make sure all these people were happy. And already she is having that influence here. And she's working really hard. I encourage you to all to get to know her. She is the most friendly person, and I'm thrilled to work with her. So with that, Laura, I'm going to hand this over to you.
Actually, going to go pretty comfortable here. So I'm so excited to be here at the first rehearsal of the season, and I've already started meeting a few of you, and I look forward to meeting every single one of you, and I want you to feel free to reach out to me. You can call me, you can email me, and I'm here for questions, comments, suggestions, issues, whatever it is that you want to talk to me about. So, as Mitch said, I worked at the Los Angeles Philharmonic for the last 3 years in the artistic department, which means that I worked closely with Gustavo Dudamel, as well as with all of the visiting soloists and conductors that came through every season. So yeah, my job was to basically make sure that we took care of everything that they needed to get, all the nitty-gritty stuff, so that they could basically go on stage and do their job. And so I kind of want to extend that to this group as well, so that you feel like anything that you want to talk about or take care of or bring up, you can talk to me about it, and I'll do my best to address that with you. And I want to say why I came over to the Los Angeles Youth Orchestra. When I first met with Mitch, his energy and his excitement about this organization and all of you was so infectious. And I am a former opera singer. I sang at the Met and with Los Angeles Opera and toured with City Opera, and so my whole junior high and high school years were spent in a high school choir, basically. So that has influenced the course of my entire life, basically. So now it's all coming full circle, and here I am with a youth orchestra, basically here to support all of you in your education and in your experience and having just the best time learning an instrument, playing with an orchestra, and knowing how important music is in our lives. And it really changes people, and it's probably the most important thing to me, I have to say. So anyway, please feel free, come introduce yourself, say hello. I'm looking forward to meeting everybody, and yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. I'm actually going to be outside collecting, oh, hi Russell, did you want to come up? Oh, great. So I'm going to be outside collecting all your forms and checks, and it's a good chance for me to get to say hello as well today. So, yeah. Hi.
Hi, Laura. We're doing this great. It's so nice, it's just so nice to have a team member, I think, who's going to really, first of all, make all of our other jobs a little bit easier, but also who gets what we're about. And I just hear that from every pore. I'd like you to stay up here, because one of the things I hear from parents a lot and students is they don't really know our staff completely. So I just want to invite everyone up. I'm part of the staff. I'm now just the artistic director, and Laura Kay is the executive director. Then we have Michael, who's running around, Michael Armstrong. So this is Michael Armstrong. He goes by Mike as well. Yeah, his height is much appreciated. The reason he's hard to pin down is he moves very, very, very fast. Mike, do you want to just say a few words? Well, you know what? I'm going to let you talk about Dee. He's going to do his thing later. And then I want you to meet our librarian, Bonnie. Where are you, Bonnie? So we're kind of a lean staff. Okay, and then before we do the board, can I just bring the coaches up? Because I want to, instead of waiting for the end. Coaches, could I have you all come up here so everyone can just see you? What I'm going to do is I'm going to just ask you to just say your name and instrument so people can hear your voice. So students, these are the coaches you'll be working with.
Carla Capulo, bass.
Stephen Green, cello.
Michelle Montalone, woodwind.
Sharon Jackson, violin.
Sure. Paul Sternhagen, percussion.
Jody Rubin and
Viola and some third violins. I'm Anna Kristuchek, and I will be working with violins.
Anna is new, so please give her a welcome. amazing team. And this is one of the reasons I think the Los Angeles Youth Orchestra is the success it is. Because instead of having coaches come just at the end or occasionally in sectionals, our students work with these coaches throughout the semester in a kind of mentoring model. And I'm very proud of this team. It's very hard to have a team that's both fine musicians and fine educators. It's almost impossible, in fact. But these people are all outstanding. Please, one more hand for this. Thank you all so much. So students, when we break up this meeting, you find if you're in concert orchestra, you find your coach, and then they'll take you to your sectional. I want to, before we go through the details here, I want Mitch, you want to introduce the board. I want everyone to see, I want people to see what is involved in putting on this orchestra. And our board is incredible.
If the board members who are here to just either come up to the front or raise their hands or something, these people are as dedicated as anybody. So we are, of course, looking for even more support. We will be looking for future board members, future and volunteers. Amy Hedstrom is our sort of head of volunteers. And of course, we are always looking for financial support, so any leads or anything you can help us with is so greatly appreciated. You can always talk to me or Laura Kay. She's happy to, we're just happy to make anything work. And so, let's see, I guess next is Michael, but I just want to say I probably won't see you until the concerts, although I'll see your kids. I'd like to come to rehearsal what's going on. But until the concerts, just have a great time, and I'll see you then.
I'd like to have Michelle, are you here? Michelle Schumacher? Yeah, could you please come up? I'd like to have Michelle and Amy now start to talk about the tour, if that's all right. My slideshow is finally running up, so you've got an accompaniment. So these two people have done an amazing job. It couldn't have happened without them. So I'm going to just hand the mic over to you.
Hi everyone, my name is Amy Hedstrom and this is Michelle Schumacher. And Michelle and Tiffany Harris put together the trip. It was a big, big labor of love. So if we can get them. And I was in charge of all the wonderful chaperones. So if the chaperones could come up for one last time. In the kitchen and working. So we just wanted to really give them an extra round of applause because it was a lot of work and it was a lot of fun and we just wanted to thank them again. So thank you.
LAYO went to Carnegie Hall in 2013 and that was an incredible experience. It was how many nights? 4 or 5 nights at Carnegie Hall. Yeah. And we just went, as you know, to Vienna. You're looking at the photographs right now, Vienna and Prague. And my son, who's in the percussion, he came away from Carnegie saying that was the most incredible experience that he's ever had until we came back from Vienna and Prague. And he said it was the most incredible experience of his life. He got to know everyone in the orchestra. He got to experience, this is the Dvorak Hall. This was, they have 3 concerts, 2 in Vienna and 1 in Prague, and this was Prague. By the time we got to Prague and Dvorak Hall, the concert was like almost like a spiritual experience, dare I say. The music, when they played or when they finished a piece, it just kept it sang on. It was the most incredible experience. Everyone felt it, especially this guy. I just want to say thanks again to all the volunteers. We're hoping to go somewhere in 2 years. Maybe Italy, maybe China, we're not sure. But it would be really, really, really lovely if we could get even more volunteers. I know a lot of you say, oh, I don't have the time, I'm just, I don't know if I just, I just don't have time in my life to this. Let me tell you, you won't regret getting involved with this orchestra. The sense of community, the experience, this is like nothing you will ever experience. And these are kids 8 to 18 years old. This is their childhood. Trust me, these memories will stay with them for a lifetime. So I highly encourage you to get involved in every way possible, to chaperone, to whether fundraising, chaperone, helping with the website. Thank you, Don. Is Don Beck here? One of the parents came along and is doing a documentary based on it. Any way you can get involved, we would love to have you. And trust me, you will thank us for helping out, because it was the most incredible experience that your kids and your family will have. And here to Russell.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Michelle. Jim, why don't you come up? We have something special we want to present to these few individuals who really made this tour possible. We had all together, we were traveling with 90 people. 90 people, that's 75 students, some staff, chaperones, and then there were other parents that also went around. The coordination was unbelievable, and they had to do work. The tour company was really good in some respects and not in others. And so it really was up to these few individuals that actually filled in the gap that made this a success.
And we came back with 92.
Hi there, I'm Jim. My daughter Fiona's a cellist. And I'd like to ask Michelle and Amy to come on back up here. As Michelle mentioned, they're looking at another trip another 2 years from now. So it was 2 years ago when Michelle and Tiffany started talking about going to Vienna and Prague. So it's almost 2 years, the time that they put in with their dedication, their love, their hard work. Where's Amy? Come here, Amy, too. So the community, the LAYO community, has chipped in and got gifts for the three of you. Tiffany's not here, but we'll make sure she gets hers. We've all got you gift cards for Burke Williams, so you can enjoy your day at the spa. Let's hear it.
Yeah, we really wanted to thank Tiffany Harris. She's not here today, but she did so much work and it was amazing. And we just really love her. And I really wanted to have you guys give yourselves a round of applause for raising such wonderful young people, because we had really no problems with anyone that was on the trip, and it's thanks to you guys. So.
So, the tour was amazing, and I also been asked, and it's true, not everyone is able to participate in the tour, and we certainly understand that. I certainly understand that. It is a lot of money, it's a lot of time, it's a huge commitment. I certainly honor all the parents and students that did it, but I want the parents and students who are not able, for whatever reason, to take part in the tour, to let you know that you receive all the benefits of it anyway. That all of this energy just comes into our season that we're doing, and that is the crux of what the Los Angeles Youth Orchestra is about. And the concerts that we have this year are going to be amazing. We do 2 concerts for each program in the Colburn School and at UCLA, and then we are also, Michael's going to probably do another holiday concert in Compton in December, and I know we're going to want to do another concert here for the Encino community as well. And we've already been asked by so many organizations if we could have chamber groups play. Like, we're going to have a chamber group playing out here next month for a Taste of Encino, and we've been asked for all kinds of other causes. So we're really trying to build our chamber music program as well. And that's all. I thought, thank you. The last thing we're going to do is Michael is going to talk to you about some logistics and details that are important. But I wanted you to see everyone here, so if you have questions, you know who to ask. You'll be receiving emails each week. You'll get one probably from me, which is for the students to know what to prepare for the, for each rehearsal. And then you'll be getting detailed emails from Michael. They all come from Los Angeles Youth Orchestra, and that talk about logistics and things. And just before I have Michael, hold on, why don't you do that now? And then I'll finish by telling the coaches what repertoire to work on for the sections.
All right, hello everybody. I'm Michael Armstrong, and I was formerly the program director, but my title has changed this year to orchestra manager, which I'm very excited about because there's a few things that I used to do that I get to hand off to Laura Kay, such as deposits and forms. Forms I think we both might share, but money. Checks will no longer go to me, although you can always hand me a check. And I'll check to see if you put a name on it first, and if you did, then I'll give it to Laura Kay. So, it's probably best that she's handling all of that. So I'm going to be focusing even more on the real orchestra, musical management kind of stuff. And just wanted to go over a couple items. Last year, for this meeting, I was brand new, and I was basically just introducing myself and trying to, give a good impression. But after being here for a year, now I know what I want to talk about. I know some important things that you have to know. Number one, on this handout that you have here, this is the only handout you're going to get the whole year, so enjoy it. This is 4 pages of very important information. I put the calendar first, because this is the big one. Check your calendar. It's quite a concept. I thought, no big deal. Everybody's, check your calendar, sign up for a youth orchestra. Sure enough, a few weeks go by. Actually, we're not available for that time slot. Or we have 14 conflicts. Can we still be a part of the program? Nope. Goodbye. And it's always such a shock. Oh. Really? So take some time to look over the calendar, every single rehearsal, as much as you know. And if you have a conflict or something, let me know as soon as you know. Just send me an email. Please send me an email, and we will deal with it. And the attendance policy is that you can miss 2 rehearsals per concert or per semester. And that is actually true. Also, many people were very surprised to find out that they couldn't be an exception to that. Yep, that's the rule. So it's a painful thing when things do come up. Usually it's because people didn't check their calendar. Things happen, decisions are made, and there are occasionally acts of God and illness that, of course, we will understand. But for the most part, I would hate to see, like we had last year, there was just a few cases of people that just had to drop out because they didn't check the calendar. So that's number one. We want everybody to stay with us the whole time. We want to have a full orchestra, especially if you play viola. We really don't want you to drop out. That's what's really sad. We have contacts on here. Communicate with all of us. Put phone numbers on this time as well. You can always call me at any time of the day, and any time really, because if I'm asleep, I'm not going to answer my phone. I don't care. But you can call and leave a message, or you can text message me. I text message also, and I know a lot of you do that. I didn't know last year if a lot of parents liked to text message, but I know that you do. I have an iPhone, and you can get a nice blue iMessage from me also. The orchestra policy is very important to read over that. And there's a thing in there about volunteering. That's a great thing. The other thing that I just wanted to mention is just communication. Of course, about attendance. If you have to miss a rehearsal, let me know as soon as you possibly can. Don't let your coach know and not me. You can let your coach know. That's great, but I don't know, I can't tell you how many times I didn't know a student was going to be, oh, we told our coach last week. Oh, yeah, tell me. You have to send me an email. You can call if you like, and then, but basically email me if you have to miss a rehearsal or something comes up. And there are a few times through the semester and through the year where I will be emailing you and asking you questions. And if I could ask one favor of everybody that would really make my life so much easier is please try to get back to me as soon as you can. Because I don't know if many of you have tried emailing 120 people. It could take sometimes months to get everybody to respond. That's just kind of how it is. And so I'll send out an email and I'll say, I need to get this information, but we need to check the names for the programs or confirm what schools we're going to, whatever it is. And I'll get a response from half the people, 2-3 days go by, and then I have to go to Starbucks, sit down, tell them to turn off the music, get an extra strong drink, and then I have to call all those people. And that's what, and I love calling you, and I loved, many parents will tell you, Carmel will tell you that we'll have a great conversation, and we'll, have a lot of fun on the phone. I'll keep you on the phone way too long. But if you don't want to get a call from me about these things, just reply to the emails. Even if you don't have an answer about things, just say, hey, I'll get back to you, and that would be awesome. There's only always just a few people that don't like to email, so I think that's about it. Anything related to scheduling, orchestra stuff, feel free to get a hold of me and ask me. And keep in mind that the rehearsal start times for rehearsals, concert days, what you have on your calendar here is 1:30 to 5. That's when the tuning note happens. That's what we call downbeat. So usually we try to get here at least 15 minutes before that downbeat, warm up and be ready to go. You can't just walk out of a car and pull an oboe out of your pocket and play. So you want to have some time to warm up and be in a good state of mind to start right at 1:30. Sectionals for the new people are happening in various places. And you have to bring those music stands for the sectionals. The cellos are back in this dance studio back here, and the brass are behind the stage here and in this building, but kind of up the stage and back there. Woodwinds are at what's called the Women's Club across the parking lot, right there. Violins are over at the church. First and second violins over at the church right next door. And it's a little, you wouldn't really be able to find it unless you go with somebody. So the violins are going to meet out here in the parking lot after the meeting and walk over as a group. Violas, where are the violas these days? You're still in this room, I think right by the kitchen? That's why. Yeah. So the violas sometimes use that, but the violas are in the kitchen. In the kitchen of the women's club. Sometimes it smells good in there, usually not. But we're kind of working on that. We might get another room over at the church if we get lucky, but it's the kitchen of the women's club. Did I leave anybody out for the sectionals? I think that's all the spaces. Yeah, that's about all I can think of to tell you. And we'll be talking, and if you have any questions, let me know for sure.
Okay, I hope the coaches are able to hear this. I don't know if they're outside or not. So the rep we're doing for concert orchestra is going to be, I'd like you to prepare or tell your coach this, that we're going to be doing, let's see, we're going to do the up to measure 100 of Deflator Mouse, so work on that one. Also the, I'm trying to think, what was the other one? It was Hungarian Dance, the Brahms Hungarian Dance. The number 6, that's another short piece. And then the beginning, how about the beginning of the Barber of Seville as well? And we'll leave the Nutcracker for we'll leave that for next week. Although, I may want to read through the Trebach or something. But let's work on those. So the first 100 measures of Fledermaus, the Brahms Hungarian Dance number 6, and a little bit through the Barber of Seville. Also, I almost forgot. I forgot to introduce our conducting intern. Sharon, are you here? Come here, come here. This is a first for us because I've had conducting interns many times, but this is the first time I've had a high school student who is a conducting intern, and a young lady at that. I'd like to introduce-
Hi, I'm Shira, and I'm really excited to work with everyone.
She's going to be learning how an orchestra operates. She's going to be doing administrative work, and on the podium, she's going to be conducting the concert orchestra starting next week in the Brahms Hungarian Dance No. 6. And so we're really excited to have her. Welcome. So what we're going to do is we're going to break off now. We're going to start the rehearsal at 10 minutes after 2. We're going to then do a break at 3. Let's see, 2. We'll make a break at 3:20. Does that sound good?
They're collecting forms outside.
Say again?
They're collecting the forms outside.
Oh, so they need more time, you think? Oh, forms are going to be collected outside. That's very important. Forms are collected outside. And checks will be collected outside. So rehearsal starts here at 2:10, and then we'll go to 3:20, and then have a break. Pick them up at 5 o'clock. We'll be done today at 5 o'clock.